Well, this person doesn't need much introduction from me because he's the guy who has my heart. Love him. Anyways, he's a little shy to come from behind the camera, but I'm so delighted when he does, and he is the best cook that I know. Take it away, Roy.
Hi, so today I'm going to show you sort of a classic winter Midwestern meal, pork, scalloped potato type dish, lovely green with broccoli, carrots. My girls, when they were young, just loved this type of a dish. It's really fun. My in-laws loved it. It was just really fun. It's great to have people over if you're decorating the tree or anything like that. And we'll show you how to do it. Okay, with this potato dish, this is where all your work's going to be spent. This is where all your time's going to be spent. So focus on this, concentrate on it. It'll be delicious and everyone will love it. Okay, one of the things Terry always tells me is I never tell the whole story. So here's a tip to creating this dish. You've got to cook it a very, very long time. Okay, remember those juices that were in the ham? What you could do with the carrots is you saute them in that juice and it makes them nice and sweet. So with a meal as heavy as this is, it's really great to have something as simple as just steamed or boiled broccoli with a little butter. It's delicious and it cuts through everything. Okay, today we're going to make a very classic sort of Midwestern meal. This is smoked pork butt, and we're also going to have a potato dish with this as well as a green. And I'm going to walk you through the simple process of cooking. So smoked butt, this meat is actually already cooked. It's been smoked. It's pork shoulder, so it's kind of tough. And what we're going to do is braise it in some wine. This is a Riesling. So as I said, this is a Riesling, but you could use an inexpensive champagne, any kind of a light sweet wine. And what we're going to do is just put that in there and then cover it with foil and braise it for several. So you wrap this and then you're going to put it in a 325 oven, a slow oven, not a hot oven. And you're going to cook it for 4 hours or more. You want the meat to just fall apart. Okay, so we are going to make a potato casserole that's kind of like a riff on scalloped potatoes to go with this ham. It's delicious. You want to use like a Yukon Gold type potato, like this, big one. And then you're going to slice it. Then you're going to slice them into these rounds like this. And then we're going to actually poach them in cream or half and half. Okay, so to make the poaching liquid, like I said, we're going to use the cream. Then we're going to take these leaves, just of the thyme, and seep those in there along with the garlic. And that will all infuse the potato with that flavor. And then eventually I'm going to show you where we use the egg, the poaching cream, and the cheese, and we combine it all in layers. So that'll come in a few minutes. So I've added some of the nutmeg and the thyme, and for those of you who are wondering what are thyme leaves, this is where you get fresh thyme, and you just pull them off like this, and then they just fall right in. And if there's some, so there's the thyme, and now I'm adding the minced garlic, which is also just going to infuse the cream. And we're going to add the potatoes and bring that to a boil. So in go the potatoes that you've diligently peeled and sliced. That's actually the hardest part. And you're going to squish these around so they get them all covered. Okay, so if you noticed, I don't have quite enough liquid, so you add more. This is called improvising. And you push this around in there and get those potatoes here. And what we're going to do is bring this up to a boil. So once you bring this up to a boil, we're going to put a lid on it and let them rest for 15 minutes. You're going to turn the heat off, and then they're just going to steep in that cream. So one of the things you do with this technique is you take a clove of garlic, cut in half, kind of smash it down, and then rub it around the plate to give this very subtle garlic flavor. You're not going to use all the garlic. You take it aside. You just use it to flavor the dish. And then you take and butter the dish. Okay. One other thing I would recommend, I would do a second dish, because oftentimes with this, you have more and it fills up and you'll end up with 2. So do a smaller dish just in case you need it to fill up all the potatoes. Okay, so they've been steeping for 15 minutes. They're slightly cooked, and we're gonna take them out of this cream mixture. So now you take the cream and you strain it to get out those big pieces of garlic and thyme. Okay, this is the cream, and it's really important you let it cool so it's not too hot, because we're gonna add the eggs, and if it was too hot, they would curdle, and we don't want that. We just wanna make a nice creamy mixture. So then you take the potatoes that have cooled now a little bit, and we're gonna layer them in on a full layer across this plate. And this is a typical size glass plate most of you should have. See how this layer is completely covered? So make sure you cover everything, particularly on the bottom the first time. Okay, so we're gonna add a layer of the cheese just into here, and then we're gonna sprinkle some salt in here, some of this black pepper, smidgen, put some more nutmeg in there. Then you take this cream mixture, put a layer of that in there, and now we're gonna do another layer of potatoes on top of that. All right, so I'm gonna add another layer of the seasonings. That's the nutmeg, the salt, and that beautiful black pepper. Now we're gonna add that additional cream we held back. You might not use all of it, that's okay. Okay, then you top it with that final layer of the Gruyere. And then we're gonna put it into the oven at about 350. Okay, so here we have the finished product. This is gonna take about 4 hours. This is gonna take about an hour to prep and then another hour to cook. The broccoli takes minutes to steam. The carrots are gonna take you 15 or 20 minutes.